We'll get started here in just a second, but just so everyone knows, you got to sign this up here. Anyone wishing to speak needs to sign up prior to this public hearing. And there's only one item, the Al Wilkes' request for conditional use on 88.68 acres. And that'll get started here in just a second, but we do want to give you an opportunity to sign in if you would like to speak. If you don't know if you want to speak or not, probably a good idea just to go ahead and sign up, and you can always, decline the opportunity. So. I didn't think anybody's gonna come up again with it. Now we got the better screens. That's good.
You've been working hard on this.
Yeah, exactly the same amount. We got a little bit more seating room, really. You know, the applicants don't need to sign in, that's correct. Y'all ready? Does everyone have an opportunity that would like to speak on behalf of this public hearing, had the opportunity to sign up to speak? It is important. You don't necessarily have to speak if you sign up, but if you don't sign up, then technically you won't be permitted. We're going to bring these public hearings to order. I only have one. It's the 6-4 public hearing. The first item and only item on the agenda is Al Wilkes requesting a conditional use of 88.62 acres from mapping parcel 141008, 210 acres from mapping parcel 141006, and 123.82 acres from mapping parcel 141001, and 72.5 acres from mapping parcel 141011, designated as general agricultural for recreational uses as specified in Oglethorpe County zoning ordinance section 7016. This is for the purpose of having a skeet and sporting clay range. The property is located at 375 Northeast Road. Now, before I go any further, I want to give you some outline, some guidelines. I want to outline those for you. Our public hearings are being recorded, and those wishing to speak need to sign up prior to the hearing. Everybody's had that opportunity. Have we missed anyone? Okay. What we'll do is we'll read the zoning request under consideration. We'll read the planning commission recommendation, and those who are signed up to speak will be allowed to speak, but the applicant will always be given an opportunity to speak initially. Each speaker will be allotted 5 minutes in their initial statement and 5 minutes if needed for rebuttal. We do tend to flex out a little bit if need be, as long as there's something meaningful being said, we'll listen to it, but we won't get into repetitive and statements. All speakers will speak only on the merits of the hearing and will refrain from speaking on other zoning issues or attacking other speakers. Violators will be ruled out of order, and repeat violators will be disqualified from speaking. All individuals need to address the board and the board only, and they must state their name and address before speaking. The official vote on the subject matter will take place at the regular meeting next week, and there will be no public discussion after tonight. I've already stated the request. It's on the table. Mr. Wilson, would you like to say anything in the opening, or you just want to go right into the those who have signed up?
Barry Venable, my partner, will be do most of our speaker.
Well, basically, you said pretty much everything, Mr. Pittard, as far as what our plans are, or intentions are. The Planning and Zoning Commission, I'm sure that you've been able to look over their notes and everything, and if there's any questions, I'll be glad to answer them, but I think we said everything we needed to say at the Planning and Zoning Commission. Like I say, if anybody has any questions, I'll be glad to answer them to the best of my ability.
Okay. All right, well, we'll start with the list of those who are signed up to speak. If you decide initially you don't need to speak, and you decide later on that you do, we'll pass you initially, and then come back to you later on. I got Ken, and I'm sorry, Ken, but I can't, right?
I'll pass for right now.
Okay. All right. Who's that? Yep. Jerry Bird.
I'm in the next door neighbor down there. I own the property right across from him and down the other side too, now, up in the corner. And, you know, they've all been good neighbors. You couldn't ask better neighbors, and, you know, I don't think they're people that's gonna, you know, if there's a problem, I think they'd work with anybody, because they've worked with me, and, you know, I hadn't had any problem. But, you know, I look forward to a little bit of something in Oglethorpe County. I think I'm a taxpayer, and it seems like all we get is our trees took away and our rocks all off. And, you know, I'd be willing to say that, you know, we need a little bit of something to help on that tax.
Well, thank you, Mr. Bird. And we'll come back to you if you'd like to say something later on. The next person is Tom Webster. Yes, sir.
I agree with
Excuse me, Mr. Webster, I failed to mention, what you mentioned here, I think I mentioned it, but I didn't.
you. Didn't address.
Yes,
Name
name and-
Lane Lexington.
Okay.
I just want to say, like the gentleman did before, this is something that I've done quite a bit of in the past, but it's not available now. And I'd sure like to have it in the county. I go over to the area, Mr. Tatham's land, and I'm regular over there. And I think that it's a great place. It's isolated, and I think it would be a real good thing for the county to have something here that we could draw other people in.
Okay. Thank you very much. Andrew Bradley.
The other two gentlemen have expressed basically what I've had to say.
That was Andrew Bradley. Can you state your name and address?
I'm Andrew Bradley. Address is 147 Watson Mill Road, Comer.
Thank you, Mr. Bradley. Mr. Dorsey King.
Same as these guys. Dorsey King, 160 Northeast Road. I live within walking distance of Al. And one thing I want to bring everybody's attention, these people coming in here is not really down and out people. These people are going to have a lot of money to spend. And it's not just going to benefit just right around Northeast Road. These people are going to come to Lexington to get food, ammunition, whatever they need. And it's going to be more than just whatever Wilkes and his buddies bring in down there. It's going to benefit the surrounding area.
Thank you, Mr. King. Ken, I apologize. Again, I didn't catch your last name, and I'm unfortunately can't.
Gager.
Gager, I'm sorry. Would you like to go back and have a comment at this point?
I'm Ken Gager. I live at 421 Northeast Road. I'll be the closest person living to this steep range and so forth. Mike Tatum called me a month or two ago and said that they were going to build one down there, and we talked about it. He said it's going to be down on the other side, down towards the river there. And, you know, that's what the discussion was. Later on, I talked to Josh because I'm trying to get a mobile home built, moved out there. I have to go through, it's been inspected, approved, and all this stuff, but there's nothing there. I had a single wide there since 1981 on that land. I've got 33.9 acres down there. The only thing that bothers me is the 5 stand. The other range is down on the Little River, but the 5 stand is up on top of a ridge, and I'm on top of the next ridge. And it's gonna be about 1,700 feet between my place and where that 5 stand's gonna be. I talked to Mike Tatum again Saturday afternoon. We walked up on my land. I explained to him, where the stuff, from my perspective, is gonna be and all this. Evidently, there's been some preparation already done for that 5 stand, and it's evidently going to present a hardship on them to move it to another location where it won't influence me as much as what's going to influence me. As far as bird shot, they aren't going to get anywhere close to me. It's going to be, like I said, a little less than 600 yards from where the 5 stand's going to be. The only thing is, it's not going to make me jump when they shoot, but I will probably hear when they're shooting. On the other side, they put it on the other side of that ridge, down towards the river. There's a ridge there, and they'd be down there, and it wouldn't influence me at all. The other people that are living there, because that ridge on my side is north of the road, and he's on the other side of that, so they probably are not gonna hear much of anything from that, even the 5 stand that's sitting on top. But, I'm not against it, it's just that I'm gonna be hearing it whenever they're shooting. And I wish they didn't put it in another place besides where that 5 stand's gonna be right now.
Thank you, Mr. Gage. In lieu of those comments, Mr. Wilkes, Mr. Venable, Mr. Taylor, do y'all have?
In response to Mr. Gager's comments, we do have a structure already built that when Mike talked to him a couple of months ago, we had no idea that he was going to build anything. And so we're in the process of trying to get this approved, so we're going ahead with the building phase. So we have built the 5 stand. With that being said, they're 600 yards nearly to his proposed house site. 10 years ago, the Public Gun Club had a similar situation, and they had to do a decibel check. At 250 yards for number 7.5 shot, which is the biggest shot we allow, by the way. The decibel level on level ground with no trees for 60 decibels. According to the EPA, that is standard subdivision noise level. That is acceptable subdivision noise level. At 600 yards for the trees we have, there is a ridge between us. We're leaving the trees as a sound buffer. The sound will be dissipated. I don't think we'll be anywhere near the 60 decibel range. I think we're going to be around 25 or 30. And so therefore, according to our noise ordinance in Oglethorpe County, he will not be able to hear us in closed door situation. And we cannot do that test because his house is not there. There's no house there to be able to close the doors and do a test with. But I think we'll, like I say, with the doors closed, there won't be an audible sound inside the house.
So you say 7.5 shot at 250 yards typically generates about 60 decibels on level ground.
Flat, with no trees.
No trees. And you said 7.5 shot, and that's the largest shot you're going to be used, but how much powder is permitted? Wouldn't that have to be more relative to how much
No,
noise is going to be?
with a shotgun blast, the powder is not the relevant thing as far as the noise. The shot level, the amount of shot, which would be 1.8 ounces at maximum, would be the biggest determining factor. Now, the powder level will increase the noise, but it's not like the shot level will. So most of the noise and everything that's generated is the shot level, not the powder. But if you use max grams, 7.5 equivalency, it's not going to be any, the maximum amount of powder they can put in the 7.5 is a test that was done.
Okay. In all fairness, Mr. Gates, would you like to?
Well, I mean, I don't know about shot level, but I think everybody knows if you're shooting high brass versus low brass, there's a different amount of sound. High brass is going to make a lot more noise than low brass. If he says that they shot it with high brass, 3 rounds of powder or whatever, then I understand that, but I don't understand the shot level.
Yeah, technically, I couldn't offer you any, I mean, I thought I asked a lot of questions, but obviously he had the right answer, so.
Could I address his question there as far as high grass is concerned?
I think you already have.
There won't be any high grasses,
Yes.
is what we're saying. It'll only be bird shot, 7.5, target shot or smaller.
And again, for the record, that's Barry Gunner talking. Any questions from the board?
I got this district too. Mr. Gage, you overall, you don't have a problem with it.
I wish they had put that in another place besides where it is now, but they've done a lot of work over there already. And, you know, I wasn't aware that there was gonna be one there until I was getting permits from Josh's office, and Josh brought it out and showed me. And as far as I knew, they were gonna be down on the other side of a ridge. As far as what he's concerned about is that there's a valley in between those two ridges. And I showed Al where you could stand and look over at that club or whatever they're calling it from my land. And so it's, you know, some trees were there. There's many of the trees that are on my land that's gonna block the sound of that.
So overall, you don't really have a problem with it, so.
We're gonna hear it. We're gonna hear it. If we're outside, we're gonna hear it. And I don't, you know, like I said, I don't know whether I'm gonna hear it when the doors are closed, and I probably won't hear it at all when the television's on. But we're gonna hear it.
But overall, I think everyone has spoken pretty okay with it.
Is it not possible, Barry, to go to his site and then sort of do a little test and just see what kind of
We
sound?
went to the property line and done that, and the train is louder than our gunshots are. We haven't been on Mr. Gager's land. I wouldn't go on anybody else's land, but to our property line, the nearest level that we went to, it's not as loud as the train. He's right, he will be able to hear it if he's outside the yard. It's a shotgun blast. It's not as loud as the dynamite explosions over there, you know, from the quarries. Nowhere near that loud. It certainly won't vibrate the ground underneath you like the dynamite explosions do.
You said it's louder than the train. What train you talking about?
The train is louder than, the one in Carlton is louder. We can hear the train better than we can hear the shotgun blast at that point.
But you didn't have a.
Didn't have a decibel
Yeah.
checker, no, sir.
Yeah, what?
I'd like to, this is Josh Hawkins. I'd like to provide a visual for everybody, just so everyone has a solid understanding of what we're talking about, the area that we're talking about. That'd be all right.
That's fine.
Can we turn the projector on? If somebody can narrate this better, but what I think this will show is the two ridge lines that we're talking about, ridge line where the range is. I know this talk box coming up. And the location of Mr. Gager's post on the site.
We appreciate y'all coming. In fact, we appreciate everybody coming. This is the first meeting we had in here. I sort of like it. I hope everybody found it okay.
So, Mr. Wilkes owns this parcel and this parcel, and the range is primarily, help me narrate this, if I'm saying something wrong too. The range is primarily on the northwest side of this ridge here. And Mr. Gager owns this piece of property right here. His own site is somewhere, I'm not sure where on that piece of property. And 510 that they're talking about is located here, pointing
Approximately there,
in the
yes.
direction of this parcel here.
That's correct, Josh.
And so, what they're talking about is that it is, how many feet was it
It
between?
was almost 600 yards between the fence and Mr. Gager's proposed home site.
Between the shooting platform and the home site. But as you can see, there is significant terrain there that could impact the situation, sound carry, prevailing winds. I'm not sure, I just want to make sure everybody has a visual of what it is that we're talking about.
Okay.
Anybody have any questions about this particular thing right here?
How far is the fire stand from his property?
1,700 feet from where that double wide will be located at.
What about property? I didn't see it.
The property line.
I'll show you. The housing, density, tell me, like Josh said, it's hard to see from up here, but it's gonna be right in here is where that's gonna be. And Josh was saying, that's gonna be right out here.
It'll be about 300 yards from the,
Yeah.
from the property
His
line.
property line probably.
From here to this property line is about 300 yards. It's about 600 yards to where my double wide will be open.
But if I understand it correctly though, the ones on the,
The others,
Western side.
the main ones over here, and they're spanning the property line, aren't they?
They're going,
They're right in here,
Right,
they
they're
span
right
this
in.
property line.
There's, and with that being said, that's gonna be approximately 90% of the shooting. The fire stand will be about 10% of our business, maybe less.
but the concern is the direction of most of all the others with the exception of this fire stand
The fire
is going
stand-
in the opposite direction
Right.
from Mr. Gager's property.
Plus, it's over the ridge, so it makes it so
Yeah.
it doesn't really
Course,
influence
the
me.
sporting place course will go this direction, like this. The fire stand will be approximately in this area,
No, it's down below the line.
right here,
Yeah.
right here. Okay, it's gonna be shooting this direction. It's facing this direction.
Facing toward,
No, it's facing towards the
His
center.
That might help out.
His property's the second section. right?
Second parcel.
Right.
This parcel is not in question, I'm not sure who owns this. This is Mr. Gager's
That's the
land.
one.
This is proposed home site up here, is that correct? And we'll be right in here, basically in line with it this way, but we'll be shooting it this way.
You can turn the, you all would turn those lights out. You can actually see the light. Okay? Yeah, that's it. You got that one.
Yeah, that's good. That's where he's at.
Okay, is there any other questions? Is there any other questions from the applicant or from those that signed up to speak?
I got another comment. Again, Dawson King again.
Yes, sir.
There's a huge granite quarry within a mile and a half to the east of Mr. Gager and Mr. Wilson's property. There's a huge granite quarry, I'm not sure exactly how far, but it's in sight across Broad River, in Elton County. And when those things are running and you're outside, you don't know what's going on.
you
So
tell me,
Monday through Friday, I don't think the shotgun blast is gonna be that big.
you tell the truth about that, Mr. King.
Yeah, I understand that and can appreciate it. Do understand the purpose of these public hearings, give everybody an opportunity who will be affected, have the opportunity to speak in public and make the comments. And I know Mr. Gager's got some concerns. I think hopefully some of those have been addressed but I do appreciate the way that you guys have handled the process, Mr. Gager, to the applicants themselves. And there has been some dialogue from day one, and I think that's the best way to make these things work, and I certainly appreciate that. Well, if being no further comments, this public hearing will be adjourned. We'll give about 2 minutes. Anyone who would like is welcome to stay to the regular work session, but we'll give you a couple minutes to leave if you would like, and then we'll start the work session up. So again, we're going to give you 2 minutes, 7:08, 7:10, we'll start back.